Hey everybody, welcome to another Age of Grogu, and I got with me Max, Jason, and Elijah. Hey guys, how's it going?
What up?
Hey,
Hey,
Hey.
what's everyone been up to this week? We're gonna go into heavily into D23 stuff during the thing, but what have you guys been up to? See anything new? Get any new comics? Any new toys? Anything cool?
I did all that. I mean, I saw Twisters yesterday.
Okay. Oh, how was it?
High praise. High praise. That movie, I did
Really?
not expect much. I saw the
Okay.
trailer and I thought, this looks so dumb. Oh, two tornadoes. It's not that at all. It's not some big
Mm-hmm.
cataclysm movie where it's just an action romp. The heart of the, without going too much into spoilers, the heart of the movie is about helping people, which
Okay.
was very in line with the first one, where
Right.
they had all this equipment and they were really focused on studying the hurricanes and
Mm-hmm.
then also helping the people affected by them. And this movie goes
Okay.
a lot deeper into
All right.
helping the people affected by it. And yeah, it was just a terrific story with some great action and some real heart to it.
Right.
Refreshing to hear that with all these like
Yeah.
legacy sequels coming out, and we're kind of like, oh, all stoked about it, but then they all kind of like, I don't know, not do so well, I guess.
Yeah, this was like the opposite of all those
Yeah.
cash grab legacy sequels.
Okay.
It didn't feel like that
Man.
at all. It didn't feel like they were just.
Brent, you were like the
Make
number
it,
one
make it.
hater
Hey
of
there,
this.
Chris. How's it going?
Brent was hating
No,
on this
I'd
when
say
it
I
came
was.
out.
It
number
looked
one
like
hater.
it
I
looked
really
like the
did not think
trailer.
it looked good.
The trailer looked like a carbon copy of the original, and I love the original, so
Yeah. Oh,
No,
you
this
like
movie
it?
is a lot
Yeah, the
more.
original's awesome.
I had fun. It was fun. Sorry?
This movie's it's great. It's a lot.
Yeah.
The first one was very character heavy, but this one's like even more so
Hell
character
yeah,
heavy
dude.
with the lead and Glenn Powell's character.
Okay.
And
Yeah, we want that.
what I really liked about it is it didn't try and shoehorn anything from the original into this
Right.
movie. It was just
Okay.
its own movie about tornadoes. And
All right.
like this is light spoilers. The trailer makes it seem like the big thing in the movie is two tornadoes hitting at once.
Okay.
That's not even the plot of the movie remotely.
Okay.
Like,
Well,
I
that's-
didn't even
it's really
pick
just
that
not
up.
about that.
That's good that they don't show the big thing in the, in the trailer, I guess, huh?
There's a lot that don't show.
Make it
And they
misleading.
could have sold the movie better in the trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, everything I hear about it, it's great. Like from
Yeah.
everyone I know who've seen it,
Crazy.
stuff. Maybe Indiana Jones should take note.
Elijah, you were saying?
Sorry.
No, I'm just saying it's nice if it's really that good, because I look
Okay.
at it and I'm like, this is why would I want to see
Yeah.
Twister again? I saw it like
Yep.
a long
That's
time
what I
ago.
said.
All right.
Like,
Okay.
is it just gonna be the
I'll
same
check
thing?
it
Are
out
they gonna
while it's
have
still in
a
the
Dorothy
theaters.
that they're gonna throw into the tornado? Like, it just seems like it's gonna be the same exact thing. But if it's misleading,
Yeah.
the trailer's misleading, and it's something completely different, then
Okay.
I guess that's interesting. I still don't want to see it, but you know,
I
Sounds
might check it out this week then before it comes off because there's a lot
It's
that
worth
came
seeing
out.
in theaters. It's a big
Uh-huh.
movie that just like
Sure. No,
theaters
it
really
it
add to
looks
that
like it
element.
is the kind of film that's made for the big screen. So again, it's been out for a few weeks, but we've had a few big blockbusters in between now and then. But what else did you get up to, Max? Anything? Cool?
I got a
Anything?
bunch of new
Yeah.
comics this week. I got about
Hey, Soft, how's
105
it going?
new back issues yesterday.
Wow.
Well, actually, more than 105 because I got some other back issues.
10 whole
stuff too,
dollars
but,
on that. 10 for a dollar.
Yeah, for reference, they were 10 cents a pop. They it's not like these were expensive books.
Uh-huh.
How much you end up spending on that sale?
25 total.
That's pretty good.
Nothing.
Yeah, that was a
And
fat.
I got this for a dollar. I got X's Swords hardcover for a dollar.
Show us the cover.
That's crazy.
Show us the cover.
Yeah,
Nice, dude.
Oh,
you
okay.
can't really see the cover because they don't have the
Oh, I
dust
see.
jacket. But
Gotcha.
great recent X-Men story. I already have it in the soft cover, but I saw the hardcover for a dollar and I couldn't resist.
That's
I
always a
mean,
bonus.
make more mutants.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool though.
And I
That's
did
cool.
get a few copies of Brigade #1 in case anyone was wondering.
Uh-huh. First on the top of my wondering list, did Max get that #1? That's cool, though,
Brigade
dude.
#1 is one of those books you always see in dollar sections because they're just so worthlessly cheap. Like
Right.
it's Rob Liefeld's one of his early Image books that was going to be the next big team thing, and he printed about 1 million copies. And
Uh-huh.
I think like only 200,000 of those really sold.
Right.
So this is
So the old
about
Image days.
800. Yeah,
Not the old Image days.
Fair enough.
Young Bloods, where you're selling like millions of copies for a book that wasn't even that good.
yeah. I don't think Brigade sold as well as Youngbloods. I know Youngbloods actually sold like almost a million. I think a million copies, but I don't know how well Brigade did.
Right. So, Jason, what about you? Anything interesting? You catch any new shows or anything recently?
What did I watch? Watched The Green Knight.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So it's all vibes, dude.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Did you finally catch up on Batman Cape Crusader?
No, I haven't.
Ah,
I haven't watched that.
okay.
Yeah, Green Knight, dude.
Okay.
It kind of reminded me of like Damon's arc in House of Dragon,
Okay.
But like done well.
but done well, with but done by A24.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was, but
I hadn't
yeah, it's
heard of it,
awesome,
so-
dude. It's
Alright.
pretty cool. I don't think you'd like it, Brent.
Okay.
I think
I've
Brent would
heard-
actually
I've
love
heard
it.
of
I
it.
think he would love it. It's
think he would?
very. Yeah, yeah.
It drags out. It might be too slow for him though. I feel
There
like.
was that one section where he goes to that weird house for a while where it starts to drag a little bit.
That's why it reminded me of Damon because of that head
Yeah.
going on the ground talking to him. It's just
This
like,
is
I
a
feel like
series or
they-
movie?
It's a movie.
It's
I feel like
it
they,
came out a couple years ago.
I feel like they
Okay.
watched that and they're like, you know what? We should do this. We should try to do this for Damon. Just like this weird kind of ethereal journey,
Okay.
of someone. But yeah, it's interesting.
Okay.
It's, like the
It's
newest
worth
thing
reading
I
the
watched.
original tale too to see how they compare because the movie doesn't do it exactly. It alludes to the original tale's ending,
Right.
which
Yeah.
is such a smart move.
I don't even know what the
it-
tale's about.
Just Google it. Just read the synopsis of it, and your mind will be even more blown by the movie.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I've been meaning to look into it after I watched it, but it's something that I've wanted to watch for a while. It's been out for like two years now, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I saw it on like one of the thumbnails on my TV, and I was like, oh, I've been wanting to watch this. It was one of those ones that went.
Okay.
It was on my list, but then it got pushed back.
Right.
So yeah, I finally
Just
got
the
to see
right
that.
time.
That's that, and I don't know, nothing much. Just watching news.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Nothing I want to talk about.
Elijah, what's been going on?
Been quiet week. Quiet. Work's been slow still.
Yeah.
But I saw Borderlands. I mean, you were
Yeah,
there,
we
so
both saw it. Yeah. Elijah and I saw it.
It was
so,
okay.
it was-
I mean, it looked. I liked the imagery. I liked the look
Yeah.
of it. Story was just so. But I liked the characters. I liked
yeah,
each individual
it's-
character.
Yeah.
But wasn't. I think it just got released at the wrong time. Like that should have been put out when what's it, the Amazon show around the same
Fallout?
time. Fallout, yeah. I think
Was?
that if it came
Fallout.
out,
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
if it came
Yeah.
out in theaters at the time that Fallout was popular,
Yeah.
I think it could have done a little better.
Yeah. You're
Um,
right. I mean, it wasn't a terrible. Like, it's not as
story
bad
was
as
okay,
people.
you know,
yeah,
like they
it's not
kinda-
as. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, people are calling it horrible. It's not
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah. It's
Well,
just
that's
like.
good.
I don't know. It was fun, and it's
Yeah.
So you think
I
you
like
would have
it,
liked it more
yeah.
if you didn't hear any bad like negative ratings about it? I guess you were expecting worse.
No, because I didn't really
Wow,
hear any
that-
of that until after we
good.
saw it. Until
Yeah,
after
I really
like,
didn't know too much
watched
about
it.
it. So, yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I just hear bad things about it.
I think
It's not that
fans of the game were the most let down by it.
Right.
And I know why. It's because they got the characters kind of opposite of what they usually are in the game.
Okay.
Like Kevin Hart as Roland just doesn't make sense even to me. And I've barely played the games. It's just an opposite kind of person. Like he's a serious, big mercenary guy, and they cast a short, funny man. It just is. It doesn't necessarily hit that same highs as those
Okay.
characters in the game. I'm guessing. Same with like
Again-
Lilith and Kate Blanchett. Just not ideal casting. And Jack Black is cast.
I like Kate
casting.
Blanchett, and I thought she
Yeah.
was totally hot in that role or whatever. I like the look of her
Yeah.
and that character. And I think she played it well. It was interesting for her to do that. And so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's like coming from no knowledge of what the game's all about whatsoever. I found it as a very cheap but entertaining kind of action, kind of road warrior kind of vibe film, and I didn't take any of it too seriously. It was obviously over the top, comic book stuff. I thought the cast were fine; they didn't bother me. And,
Bobby
you know,
Lee's got a good cameo in it.
Oh, nice.
I think that was my
Is he
biggest
good in the
laugh.
movie?
Yeah, my biggest laugh was Bobby Lee. I think my biggest laugh was
Nice.
like, he got me.
Really?
Like, he's got two little scenes in it, but
Right.
what his character does and his lines, I thought were funny.
Half the
Sure.
pictures I see for this movie are just his character. I'm like, do people like? I know people love Bobby Lee. He might be one of like the fan favorites of this movie.
He could have been in it more. He could have been in more, and they could have made the. I mean, you could hear Jack Black in the robot, but he could have been more Jack Blacky because they just kind of had a robot voice on him.
There was a
and you couldn't even-
popcorn bucket. I didn't realize
Yeah,
there was a
there's
popcorn
a claptrap.
Oh, really?
Bucket.
Okay.
Yeah.
bucket. Okay.
Dude, is it me or is it like a resurgence on popcorn buckets lately after
Oh,
Dune?
absolutely.
Ever since
It's-
Dune.
yeah.
It was
It's where the
Dune. I
money
mean,
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were trying them before that. They did the Ecto one and that
Yeah.
type of thing, but like since
No
the
one
Dune
paid attention.
bucket,
to Dune.
Alien Romulus
just
has
not
got some cool
stopping.
ones coming out.
Yeah.
Alien Romulus has got some really nice ones.
Oh,
every
nice.
big movie's gonna have a popcorn
Yeah.
bucket.
Well, it's like,
Yeah,
it's
which-
like a piece of merchandise you can sell from like $30 to $50, depending on
Yeah.
how elaborate it is.
Yeah.
And they sell out always because of the collectability of them. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
people, and the
And-
resale
and-
value is insane.
but
like,
here's
Dune
the
buckets
thing,
go
though.
for $200.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, like those when they did the popcorn buckets, they like we, like the prequels and all the films back in the 90s and even the 80s, they were things that were big then. They kind of fell out. That is, I mean, pay credit to the studio, to the film, studios, not studios, sorry, the actual theaters themselves. They don't get much income when it comes to the film. They're not making money from the film. The studios make money from the film. But places like AMC and Cinemark and all those places, they have to make what they can as their overhead through what they sell. And
Yeah, I mean-
popcorn buckets as something
They're
that hasn't been. Yeah, they're expensive, but at the same time, may as well make them epic and something fun. And
I
I'm
think
kind
that's the
of,
route
I'm
they're
down
going
for
with
that.
now.
I'm down for the fact
Yeah.
that they're selling and they're making.
They need
this
to
stuff
think.
again.
They need to think Dune's bucket made it look kind of like a sex toy.
Yeah.
I think if it wasn't for
Sex
that,
sells.
we wouldn't be going nuts after these like
Right.
popcorn buckets these days.
But
you know?
the-
You
There's
should have
one
seen
for
the line at the
Beetlejuice,
AMC booth
there's-
at
yeah.
Comic Con, though. It was like just to get these buckets, people were lined up
Yeah.
for like. It looked like it went on like half the floor,
For
just people
Dune?
lining up trying to get for the Wolverine and Deadpool buckets.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And then they also had the Headpool bucket. They had all those,
Yeah.
and they were selling for like $30 a pop.
Yeah.
And
But
people
they-
were lined up.
But they would only sell a certain amount a day because that's all they had to actually sell.
You
in
think
each-
if Dune
They
didn't
actually
have their
were
whole
only there
if
for
they
one
didn't-
day.
if they didn't have their whole joke about like the Dune bucket, do you think they would have done the same type of bucket?
No, it probably
No,
would've been
I
different.
think
I
they're also
don't think
banking
they
on
It would have
Dune
been
bucket.
different.
They had a big
Yeah.
sign that said Dune bucket sold out forever, just so people would
Uh-huh.
see it, get that FOMO, and try and buy the Wolverine bucket.
Exactly. Yeah, like see, if
Yeah.
it wasn't for the Dune bucket, then none of this. There wouldn't be this resurgence in popcorn bucket hype.
They probably will next year. We'll probably get some sort of popcorn bucket for. Sorry, 2 years from now.
I imagine it'll be his carrier.
I mean, the first
Yeah.
one I remember that was something was for Afterlife, the Ecto one. That
Yes,
was a
yeah.
popcorn bucket.
Well, the Transformer.
Before that-
Yeah, but it
Before
didn't go
that, they were
viral
just-
like
yeah.
it didn't go viral like the Dune bucket. is what
I
I'm
know that.
saying.
I know that. I'm just saying before that, they were just a bucket with a print that was on a bucket or a bowl
Yeah.
or
Well,
whatever. That was like a
Beast
print.
Wars, the Beast Wars film that came out 2 years ago, they had an Optimus Prime popcorn bucket I saw on the, and again, it wasn't
After?
highly advertised. Yeah, so they've been doing stuff. I think it was just Dune made it really.
No, I totally
popular.
get that.
Yeah.
I totally get
Yeah.
that. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that like they are still they're still a more of a recent thing.
Sure,
versus,
yeah, in the last like
an
5
older
years. Yeah,
popcorn bucket
yeah,
where it's just a bucket with a print
Yeah.
of the movie on it or something.
Yeah.
I was looking through my tools and I found my Captain America Civil War bucket,
Oh yeah.
and it's just like a metal
what was-
bucket that just
Oh,
has
that's
the
cool.
Captain America Civil War.
Yeah,
But I use
that's
it for all
kinda-
my
Yeah,
hard-
that's what they used to be.
I use it for
Yeah.
my loose hardware
Mhm.
and stuff. So I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
I still have it.
Mm-hmm.
At the theater by me, they sold when I was in college, they sold so terribly. They would just give you those buckets if you ordered a popcorn
Oh, really?
because they were trying to get rid of them.
That's
So I had a bunch of those for a while, just the ones that were just printed on the
yeah.
on the
And
bucket
that was
itself.
that was the retail for years there. So just
like
quickly,
a-
I mean, yeah.
I was gonna say it's like the fast food cups, like Batman
Sure.
Forever or whatever. You'd get like
Those are also back.
you'd have to
Yeah.
go somewhere and get like a Taco Bell and get like the
Yeah, the three
episode
different
one.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah,
The Batman Forever
McDonald's
ones,
is
I remember
selling
those.
glass cups again with
Oh,
images
really?
on them, different IPs.
Like the old school glass cups.
Nice.
Yeah, like the collector's
Lead,
cups.
the lead paint in them too.
No, dude, I see those a lot at cons.
I got my-
Like the actual like lead cups. Like, I always think like, oh, this is a little dangerous.
No, that's the point. I think.
Yeah.
It's from a different time.
Bring back the 80s.
Bring back the
Yeah.
80s, dude. Paint chips.
Yeah, hang on. I'm gonna pull this one up because this is kind of a cool one. This is was with Alien Romulus coming out next week, or this week actually, which I'm actually looking really forward to seeing. This is the different buckets and different popcorn things that they've actually got for Alien. I love the green one in the middle.
That one.
Yeah, that's a popcorn bucket. There's a cup, and then I don't know what the alien head is, whether it's a popcorn or something else, but I like the alien.
Yeah, what the hell is that alien head supposed to be for?
I don't know.
I think it probably opens and you put the popcorn
Yeah,
inside.
It
I
could
think
be
that
something,
back-
yeah.
That back shell
Yeah.
opens. The wiener part of the head.
Imagine all the
opens up.
cleaning you'd have to do if you put like frickin' what's it called, butter in it though. It'd be like, ugh.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's all of those. I would imagine the cleaning.
I know. That's those things. It's like weird
Yeah.
to use them as actual popcorn buckets.
Well, I mean, I would imagine you'd get them so you don't do that because you don't want to destroy
Like
it,
the
kind of thing.
alien head's a hot dog holder. So it is.
Oh, it is.
A hot dog holder?
Just joking.
Oh, okay. I thought
Those
you
are
knew.
rad.
The shape of
You
it,
just
you know.
push
Yeah.
it, you the mouth opens and a hot dog comes out.
Like now when they
Dispenses
design
the hot dog.
because of Dune, when they design their popcorn buckets, they got to have some type of innuendo.
Yeah.
involved now.
Yeah, it's
So-
gotta be
make it-
slightly sexual.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's what that they have to kind of like hint at something.
Yeah.
Either
Either
I've
way,
noticed a lot more people are buying actual merch at movie theaters now, whether it's Funko.
they're selling
Pops or
because they're selling
posters.
merch at movie theaters.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I think it's
'cause
been
they're
selling
selling
for a while,
Yeah.
but now I've been noticing a lot more people buying that stuff.
Yeah. Which is crazy. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, but at the same time,
mean,
you know.
Yeah, more power to them. It's great
It's
for the
a
theaters
Happy Meal
anyway.
Exactly,
toy is
yeah.
what they are.
Yeah.
So I wanted to jump back on something just quickly. 3 out of the 4 of us have actually seen this already. I just wanted to get your thoughts, overviews of Batman: The Caped Crusader. There's 10 episodes that dropped, and on Amazon Prime. What are your thoughts, Max, as the show itself of
Okay.
the season?
I have a lot of thoughts on this show.
Okay, this
obviously.
could be a while. This could be a while. My
All
bad.
right.
Sorry.
Jack has
everybody.
lots of thoughts. Whoa, what?
Oh man.
Okay.
There was a lot of really great
We're already
stuff in
18
the
minutes
show,
in.
Start the timer.
and so there's some mediocre stuff in it.
Yeah.
A lot of it worked really well. I wish they could have done more work with Bruce as a person and not just focus it on Batman entirely.
Right.
I think they didn't really delve into his and Alfred's relationship, and they briefly hinted at the other Robins existing in the universe already being
Yes.
orphans.
Yeah.
Don't know how I feel about that. If they're just
Actually,
already in an orphanage.
That was kind of funny that they used the kids' names as Jason and
Well, they had
Dick.
Jason, Dick,
Dickie.
Steffi, and who was the last? Oh, Carrie. They had Carrie from.
Oh, really? I didn't
yeah,
catch that one.
With the
I didn't
glasses
catch that.
Yeah.
Oh no way! I didn't catch that.
and the
Holy
slingshot,
shit.
her signature weapon.
Yeah. Oh wow!
Carrie Kelly,
Why did I
yeah,
not catch
yeah.
that? I have to rewatch
Ironically,
again.
she wouldn't even be born yet, right? Or
Yeah.
Canonically, she would not be born yet. But they also had her as the same age as Dick Grayson, Jason Todd,
Yeah.
and Stephanie Brown. So I feel like the show is not going to get a Robin.
And they were all orphans at the same orphanage at the same.
That's
time.
what bothered me the most. It just felt very
Yeah.
lazy to be like, this is how it could be a fun Easter egg to
No.
introduce
Robin,
every
right.
Robin ever,
Sure.
besides Tim.
blew their
as-
load on one little Easter egg, huh?
Yeah, but they were also featured in the whole episode, so it wasn't like they were trying to hide it. The whole episode, you look Dickie, you're looking for Dickie, then you're looking for
Yeah.
Steffi, and you're looking for
I thought
Carrie. and
that was. I did. Why didn't I click?
It was the
Wow.
weakest episode. It was the weakest episode of the show, and it kind of. Yeah, Jason was right. They blew their load in using all the Robins. I thought that
Right.
was kind of a weak way to use it. But then other episodes, like the Onomatopoeia episode was great. The Clayface episode was great. The finale was great. Two-Face was great.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of... Catwoman was fantastic.
I like the
I love Ed
Catwoman arc.
Brubaker's writing. I love Greg Rucka's writing. But some of
Yeah.
the other episodes, some of the other writers didn't seem to have as strong of a voice
Right.
for the Gotham characters that they do. The only character I really didn't like was I didn't like their take on Harley Quinn. I thought it was very vapid and a little thin for me.
Okay.
Same
too.
with
Me
what was
too,
that?
because they were building that character for a while, and then she's Harley Quinn. You're like, one episode. I don't know.
Yeah, nothing really happened to make her do that. She just revealed it's her side hobby is Harley Quinning.
Yeah,
Like, she's not
which is
insane.
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn, yeah.
She's no Joker for her stuff, so it's like it doesn't really have the same weight to her character.
Yeah, I'm so used to her being attached to the Joker. It's weird.
Well, she's either attached to Joker or Bat Family, and she's not, or Ivy, and she's not really attached to any of them. She's she doesn't really even like Batman that much. She doesn't even have like an affinity. I thought they were going to go the other way, and she has an affinity for Batman, which is why she does crime. But she kind of just thinks it's the right thing to do, which is a different kind of crazy than Harley Quinn.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
well, we'll move on because we've got a lot to cover as well. But Elijah, your quick thoughts on the animated show?
it was okay.
Yep.
Like
It was
animation,
okay?
I liked the backgrounds more than the animation.
Yeah.
Because the
backgrounds
on
are
it really
beautiful.
stood out to me. I'm like, oh, these are some really nice backgrounds. The background paintings were great. The animation was good. And I think of all the episodes, the last two episodes, the Two-Face Harvey Dent episodes, I thought were the most catching to me. Everything else was kind of like a wash. And him, Max talking about Bruce, made me think this is like the first series I remember that they don't really like do like a little origin, like my parents got shot type of like anything. They don't even show like a moment.
There's that one scene where he opens
Afterwards.
Alfred's door as a creepy little kid, and he's like, "I want to get revenge on all of them."
That was
but there wasn't like the first
Weird.
time like you didn't really
we
get,
didn't
like,
see
my
the
parents were
actual
shot.
thing. Yeah.
Which it's played out, but it's kind of like a it feels like that should be in there all the time, or at least one.
Yeah,
one
no, I
reference.
agree.
I mean, for me, overall, I enjoyed it, but it's still, it was missing bits and pieces. I applaud them at least for kind of doing a soft reboot of what the Batman animated series was. And I kind of,
I think this is actually a hard reboot or just different continuity. I mean,
I guess so.
Like Harley Quinn were completely different characters.
Just redoing everything. That's not a soft reboot.
Fair enough.
I mean, the characters are even race swap too.
But the vibe
and Detective Gordon or
a full reset's not a soft reboot, Brent.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is a full reset. Like,
okay, it's a reset, but it was
also
still
didn't
soft
like
because it's
Barbara
still.
being a lawyer.
I call it
Not
soft because it felt like still the Batman animated series that Bruce Timm created.
Yeah, it had
in
the
its
same
style
tone.
and its tone.
Yeah.
And I think that alone.
Except
was
the women didn't all look like Betty Rebel.
Well, I don't know. You think
like varied? No, he's right. The women were. It didn't have that Tim. It didn't have the classic look of his other shows where all the women kind of looked the same.
I was discussing that with Anthony. All the females have like the same body type in Bruce Timm's work, except for Amanda Waller.
Yeah,
it's like
there's one body type.
Looks the same except for Amanda
the
Waller.
Betty Rebel. It's the Betty.
It is Betty Rebel.
Yeah.
And then just moving on, guys, because again, I've got so much I want to cover today. But just as of today, Deadpool has crossed the $1 billion mark, making over $1 billion, and it is just shy of outbeating the Joker, which it will do later this year. Later this week, I should say, not this year. And in box office, so that's kind of cool. I think we all agree we had fun watching Deadpool and Wolverine, and it's still doing well. And yeah. All right, let's move.
That's great.
Yeah, it's cool. So D23 is this weekend. It's still going. There has been a lot of bits and pieces between the Marvel Universe and Star Wars and stuff like that that's been coming out. So I was just going to kind of jump over a few quick things that were not in Star Wars and Marvel first. They've been announcing several things. This production called Dream Productions, which is kind of a set between Inside Out 2, kind of like a spin-off, I guess, is a weird kind of thing. Frozen 3 was announced. Big one here, which is in Incredibles 3, which I didn't expect to see coming.
Oh, nice. Brad Bird?
Brad Bird is going to be working on it. Yeah, he's going to be
Yeah.
directing it, writing it. As far as I know, he's directing it at least. But I imagine that'll be out in a couple of years' time.
I wonder if the kids have aged in animation, or they're still going to be kids.
I think they're still going to be kids.
Which could be right after the second one.
Yeah, because
And they did that with the second one.
They
too.
did. The second one was shortly after the first one. So
It was like a scene. They redid a scene in the first one to like
yeah,
for the continuity.
yeah. But I thought it was cool. Tron Ares, the third Tron film, which is going to be music.
Nine Inch Nails!
Nine Inch Nails is
Yeah,
actually doing the
yeah.
music
Hell
for,
yeah,
for
dude!
that.
Hell yeah!
So
I love
And
that
it's
the
not-
It's
Tron,
really weird for like.
I like that the Tron series has been like a vehicle for great artists, like musicians.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, but it's
So-
weird because Daft Punk was huge at that time, and Nine Inch
Sure.
Nails, like, they're not.
Shut up,
even though
Mac.
they're a huge
Let us
band.
enjoy this. Jesus.
I'm
God.
just saying it's weird they didn't get like a
Shut
credit.
up.
They would have done Daft Punk if they were recorded, and they're not. They're
Yeah,
robots.
if
Daft Punk's
were,
like recent album before the Tron movie came out was like a good 5 years, dude.
Was it?
Yeah.
They felt
Yeah.
a lot more recent than Nine Inch Nails.
It was like Human After All. When was that? Like 06?
I don't even. That's a good question.
Five?
Yeah,
And, like,
yeah, something like that. It
and
was.
then
It was.
Tron Legacy
yeah.
came out in like 08 or 09 or something like that.
Yeah,
Something
it
like
was.
that.
Yeah, it was way after. I would say, yeah, a good
Trent-
5 years,
Trent
6 years
Reznor's-
after.
Pretty relevant right now,
yeah.
so I don't think.
And it's nice they're
Well,
going
with-
as Nine Inch Nails and not just saying Trent.
Yeah,
Reznor,
exactly,
like saying it's
right?
Done by Trent Reznor. It's like you get
Right.
that 9-inch Nails in there. It's
I'm
like,
sorry if Max has a problem with this. Jeez.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just said I think it's weird they went with such an old group to score an album. Or to score
Yeah, they should go with a new
movie.
group. Max would like it if Sabrina Carpenter did that soundtrack or something like that.
No, I'm more of a Chapel Roan guy.
Hell yeah, dude.
Well, either way, they're starting. They're on production for that. What's his name is back in it? What have I forgotten his name? The actor.
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges. Thank you. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Jeff Bridges is back in for the third one. I assume a lot of the original cast who are still around, Bruce Boxleitner, I'm guessing will be in it. I'm not too sure. But, yeah.
I was like so stoked
It's
for
been
Tron Legacy, and when it came out, like I was happy with it, and then it's one of those things that kind of cured on me, and it kind of gets better as the
Fair enough.
years go because it holds up, dude.
Yeah.
That movie
Yeah.
still looks sick.
Yeah, I mean it's a decent film. I mean, it was never my thing.
Better than the
I think we
first
all.
one.
I was gonna say, I think we could all agree the original was so slow and so boring, and nobody to this day really can even tell.
That
what
was
the
like
hell
my.
going on.
I remember as a kid, I hated the first Tron because everyone was telling me
Oh,
how
yeah,
good
me
it
too.
was. And then you watch it, and
Yeah.
like 2005.
What?
Nothing, no aspect
thing
of that
with-
movie holds up to 2005.
The thing with the original Tron is like every still photo from the original Tron looks like it would be cool, and
Yeah.
then you watch the movie and you're like, "Gosh, this is like
What is it
really
about?
slow. What's going on?"
They're just like doing
Yeah.
weird sports in the first
Really
one
slow.
a lot, and it's like
Yeah,
you're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, frisbee and.
Yeah, for some reason it didn't.
But that's
really
when you
bug
still have
me that-
Pong and like
It didn't bug me that much on how bad it was. I saw it as its own thing, and
Yeah.
like nothing else was like it, you know.
yeah,
Right.
And
it was-
like it was just the concept of being inside a digital video game was kind of cool
Yeah.
to me. So, I
But
don't
as
think-
a child who grew up as computer games were just starting to be, like the first tabletop arcade games and all that sort of stuff it was in the 70s, the
it
stuff
was
like
like
that.
referencing all the 8-bit stuff.
Yeah, which was interesting. Is again, I was never into that, but at the same time, it's like I think the film paid definitely homage to that, but it just lost it in its plot because its plot was just not very interesting. The characters were not
But it is
as fascinating at the time.
it is like ahead of its time as far as like the time
Oh,
of technology.
absolutely. Yeah,
You know, there's some good digital stuff
Yeah.
going on, and aesthetic wise, like still pretty sick.
yeah,
I don't know enough for it to. I like that it's still a thing.
yeah.
Like
Well, we've got the
Tron.
third one coming. I'm not sure if
As
they
the-
had a release
as in-
date.
Tron
So-
as an IP is still
Yeah.
continuing and still living on.
I hear the
Well,
animated
when you make a
series is
roller
pretty good.
coaster or you have it in your theme park, you kind of keep it afloat. You need to keep it
yeah.
going because
Now-
like when we build this roller coaster, people are going to forget about Tron. Make
Now,
another one.
one of the things that they did mention D23 was all the new new park rides. I don't know if they announced an official one for the Tron Legacy ride being done in California or not. I read at one point they were going to try to do it, but there's an expansion
Isn't
going
that
on.
already a thing? Am I misremembering that? Isn't there like a light bike ride somewhere?
Yeah, there is in Florida.
Disney
Yeah,
World.
and there is
Yeah.
and there
One in
is in
Japan and one in
Japan
Orlando.
as well. Yeah, I thought they were going to try to do one here, but it looks like that they're going to be expanding a few other rides here.
They're doing
So-
Marvel stuff in
Yeah.
California. Like they're
Yeah.
doing a lot of Marvel stuff actually.
Yeah. Well, we've
And
got
this is
the
like
monsters.
a block away from Disneyland. This is like a separate lot across the street.
This is a separate
across
lot
the
that they're
beach.
going to develop.
They're
Yeah,
taking out some hotels
Yeah.
that are there, and they're like it's across. It's like
Oh,
a
is
separate.
that? I read something that like there's like a Stark
no,
transit. or
they're going to
something.
build a third
Yeah.
section park.
It's
section of
demolishing the Star Wars cruise and
No, that's all staying. But one of the first ones is a Monsters Inc. ride, which looks kind of fun.
wait, the Star Wars cruise is still there? Is that in LA? Is that in
Huh? You
is
mean
that in Anaheim?
The
The
Star
Galaxy?
Cruiser.
Are you Star Tours?
No, not
Star-
Star
No,
Tours.
the Galactic.
Cruise.
Yeah, yeah.
The
That
hotel.
was
Oh
the failed cruise.
no! That's in Florida. That was
that's
in
Florida?
Florida, and that wasn't a cruise. It was technically a hotel.
They called it a cruise.
The
That was
cruise,
whole
the
thing.
cruise hotel. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that was Florida. The other things they announced,
Do they
the
tear that down,
Avengers.
or do they make it up?
Huh?
I know what
Do
they
tear
do
down
with
the
that.
hotel, or are they still using it?
Sorry.
Hotel's gone.
Oh, the hotel's gone. I have no idea.
I-
I imagine
think-
they've been gutting it for months, and it's going to
Yeah.
be retrofitted into just a regular hotel.
Yeah, probably something like that.
No windows. With
Yeah.
No windows. Can't look out.
But the other thing they announced, the Avengers Infinity Defense, it's called.
Oh, this seems cool. They've been teasing this for like a year.
Oh, yeah?
There's that leaked, or not so leaked. There's I guess an official photo of the King Thanos, of a Thanos that beat.
yeah, I saw that.
the
Yeah.
Avengers.
Okay.
King.
And that Thanos looks awesome. I saw the design and I was
Right.
like, the hell, yeah.
He's
that's
like
the-
old. He's got like white hair.
He's old. He's got a beard. Like it's
Right.
it's a crazy, and he's got a crazy crown. It's a cool Thanos design.
Well, someone I know took a photo with it standing behind them. So yeah, there's an image of the King Thanos.
yeah,
which
it's
is,
pretty public. It's not
yeah,
like
yeah.
It's at D23.
That was
Yeah, D23.
yeah, that was like years ago when they leaked that picture.
Yeah, they announced it a few years ago,
Yeah.
and I think what's
Yeah.
taking so long wasn't the construction of the ride, but I heard that they are trying to get as many Marvel voice actors or Marvel actors to reprise their roles and likenesses for the ride as possible.
Okay.
Uh,
I
Including
assume that's
Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man for a few rides. I heard he's going to be.
so. I imagine that's also in the Avengers Campus kind of section in.
I think this is going to be one of the things
Part
that
of
goes off-site, where they take you in the Stark
Oh, really?
transporter thing.
Okay.
It's that new lot they're building.
Okay. All right.
So is it a ride or a area?
It's a walkthrough event, I think, similar to what the other.
No, I
one.
think
see-
it's a ride.
Maybe it's both.
There's another ride that they have that's like
Okay.
the Stark test lab. I don't know
Okay.
what was from what that I saw.
See, I haven't
know what
been
Downey
to
Jr.
the
is on
Avengers
the
Campus
Stark.
yet, so I haven't seen what it's all
I haven't
about.
been either. Yeah, I
Maybe
heard it's
do that
not
sometime.
that big though. I heard it's small and mostly character based, where it's like they have like the people in
Yeah.
Wolverine outfits walking around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, the California
definitely doing that
Adventures.
there right now, right?
I mean, the California Adventure is just an old parking lot, so it's really like it's not crazily big overall. So, and there's a lot they've got taken up in the space there. So, the other thing
There's
they
a
mentioned,
Guardians ride, Spider-Man ride, and food stuff.
yeah, sorry. The other thing they mentioned also was they're actually reinventing the Smuggler's Run ride with the Millennium Falcon already for Mandalorian and Grogu. So they're going to have another separate event going on, the Smuggler's Run. I found out something really cool and really interesting I did not know about Smuggler's Run. There is 28 Millennium Falcon cockpits in that ride system.
Yeah.
And what it is, you go in through one of the two doors, and they diverge off into two separate exit points where you can go onto the ride into one or two corridors. But each corridor has a chamber of like 6 or 8 Falcons that spin every time it starts up, and the next one spins. and
Yeah.
there was a
It
droid.
rotates so you feel like you're just walking.
Yeah,
around
I didn't
the
realize that.
screen.
Yeah, I didn't realize there was that many of them. There's 28 of them.
Yeah,
actually.
no, I knew there was about 30 of them because I asked the cast member kind of how it worked, and they were
Yeah.
you're entering the Falcon. And I looked around, and I'm like, there's no way it's happening this fast.
Yeah.
I originally thought it was like 50 of them.
Yeah.
And then
But it was anyway.
someone
It
told me
was
it was
cool.
around 30 when I was at the park.
Yeah. Anyway, they're doing a Grogu and Mandalorian and Grogu based one, which would be kind of fun to see what they do. Obviously, they'll release that in 2 years' time.
Will it still be the Falcon, or will it be transferred to being the?
I'm sure.
the N1 Starfighter. Or
Honestly,
the,
it'll be the Millennium Falcon that you're in. I'm guessing, but I don't know how they're going to adapt the story. I don't know if
Physical
this.
cockpits they have, so it has to be.
It has to be, yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're not going to deck out the cockpit too much and spend that kind of money, but it'll be just whatever the video monitor plays up. I assume you're just inside the Millennium Falcon as a story point.
what
The
if you're
Naboo
still
fighter,
flying
you can only
the
fit like
Falcon,
one person too.
Huh?
The Naboo fighter, you'd only be able to fit like one person. Too.
Yeah.
What if you're still in the Falcon, but the Mando and Grogu are in their own ship next to you, flying?
Well, have a look at it. That's what I mean. Look at this. If you take a look to the right there, it's Mando,
okay,
Mando
yeah,
on the
it is
rocket
that.
packs. Yeah. So
I thought it was gonna be like them in the Falcon. I'm like, that doesn't make much sense.
no.
Is that Boba Fett flying it? Looks like.
Well, that's Anyway,
Looks like a Boba Fett.
Boba Fett's steering crazy, going, "Screw you, Solo."
After this, we'll get some ice cream.
and one other ride announcement, just a quick one here. They're doing another Indiana Jones ride at Animal Kingdom in 2027. So, I think Indiana
boy.
Jones. Yeah, I mean,
Oh boy.
I thought it was kind of an interesting set of rides that were coming out, but
It's for you, Brent.
But yeah, I mean, I've never been to Animal Kingdom, so it's
Now you will, because Indiana Jones.
not necessarily. I mean, the Indiana Jones ride here in Disneyland.
Wait a minute, which Animal
It's
Kingdom?
okay.
In Florida or San Diego? There's one up there in San Diego.
No, it's in Florida. It's
Candido?
Yeah, wherever that was, the other park is separated from Epcot and everything
Oh,
else. So. And then and then a couple of other pieces coming out. By the way, they were announced Monster Jam, which is a series or a movie, I guess. I'm
the
not
hell
too
is
sure.
that?
I don't know.
I
You guys
actually
seem to.
did some research. It's
Oh, yeah?
a movie based around a Monster Jam driver played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Okay.
I thought they were buying Monster Jam, so I was very.
What is Monster Jam?
You don't know what Monster Jam
Is that
is?
like Bigfoot and
I don't know. You guys got
Yeah,
Max got all
yeah.
excited when I showed him the image the other day. I didn't know nothing about Monster Jam.
It's Monster Trucks.
Bigfoot,
Bunch of
Grave
monster-
Digger,
Monster trucks.
like
Okay.
those are the only two that I know.
All
Bigfoot
right.
and
Oh,
Grave
that's-
Digger.
Yeah, those are the only two I think I know too. Is Bigfoot
All right.
and Grave Digger, but those
Yeah,
are
I know
like,
what those are. I just didn't know the whole thing was called
Okay.
Monster
People
Jam.
getting excited about it. I was like, I have no idea what this is, but obviously.
Middle America, dude. That's
Yeah.
I went into where I'm from in Connecticut. Monster
Uh-huh.
Jam.
Right.
It was a big deal when it came to town.
Okay, fair enough. And then we got a trailer also for Snow White with those creepy looking CGI
People
dwarfs.
hate it. People
They
Yeah,
really
well,
changed it. It's so
again-
weird. They changed the live
Yeah.
action people to CG people because
People didn't
Well,
like
also,
it.
But
that was
they
the
should have
joke,
used
was
real
like,
dwarves
biggest
in
woman
the first
alive.
place.
And she was like, "I'm jealous of this other girl's beauty."
I know.
Oh
Uh-huh.
no!
Yeah. I know. It's
Weird. This is what's weird about like remaking old Disney cartoons because like the whole premise of everything is kind of weird still.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
hasn't aged well.
Well, no, yeah. Snow
Like
White doesn't
Snow
age
White.
well, does it?
You get like someone like Snow White, yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
queen who's obsessed with her beauty. Sees another lady who's
Saved by a kiss
that
she
tries
didn't
to
ask
kill
for.
her.
Yeah.
Hires
Yeah.
a dude to kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
They're going for
Yeah.
those old Grimm fairy tales, and those are all
This
messed
one
up.
has been
so,
getting
like,
a lot of hate like ever since they cast Snow White.
yeah, well, she
Yeah.
really screwed herself and publicity of it, just being.
Yeah.
I have another theory too. I think Peter Dinklage also has a part to play in the downfall of this movie. He specifically wrote to Disney and said he didn't want. He thought it'd be poor representation if they cast little people as the dwarves in this movie.
Oh, really?
But here's how I think of it. And this is gonna sound like a crazy thing.
Wow. I didn't know
That
that.
was like 8 roles that could have gotten to 8 unknown little people.
Oh,
Actors.
absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
And they would have been
Not all
big,
of them
and
are
they
ridiculous,
could have
but
been big.
there's
Yeah, they
roles
could have
they
been
want.
a big name. Yeah.
He doesn't want any other little people getting more famous than him.
Yeah,
Pressing.
I don't.
you got that one black guy, and then that's it.
community.
You're like,
Yeah, he's trying to suppress them because he wants to be the famous one.
yeah.
Well, At the end of the day, the Snow White trailer, the movie, I'm gonna guess is gonna be up there with everything else, like The Little Mermaid and all the other live action remakes they've done recently.
So the kids will love it.
It'll do well, but I'm
Everyone
like,
was talking about
I
it
have no
yesterday.
interest
We were
in
watching
really seeing it.
the trailer for
Are we
Wicked.
the people to
Wicked
be
looks
judging
amazing.
these movies anyways? Like,
No.
our opinion doesn't matter to these
Yeah, it
fucking
does.
movies.
Oh no.
Yeah, but here's what I'll say. Me,
Yeah.
They're not
me
for
and
us.
Brent were talking about this yesterday. Wicked, which is another movie kind of in that same vein, where it's also a adaptation.
Broadway.
slash-
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not exactly a remake, but it's
Yeah.
another adaptation. And that movie looks terrific compared to Snow White, which looks a little bit mild.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that the movie is really following the theater production too.
And again, the demographic is not for us. Wicked, that's for like older people, you know, it's like
Yeah.
the Broadway, whatever. Like
Yeah.
the fan base for that is pretty massive. But I think
yeah.
they are trying to cater to Disney adults as well, but still, I don't think that's our
Yeah.
this isn't art. This isn't made for us.
Yeah,
Right, no,
I'd say
it's made for kids.
not
Yeah,
the
I mean,
kind-
come on, it's
not the
Disney.
kind
Of course,
that
it's made for
clamor
kids. So, yeah,
Yeah, but there's serious
No.
adults out there who clamor for anything Disney. Like they
Yeah.
they buy all their outfits to get ready for this movie.
sure.
But as
Yeah.
far as our like personal opinion of these movies, like
No.
Little Mermaid or whatever,
Yeah,
I have no opinion on them actually.
Yeah.
They're not for me.
Yeah.
yeah. And
I
the only one that ever
agree.
really truly worked for me was the Jungle Book. I thought that
They-
was a great little piece of work.
That one was
They
great.
do great. You know,
Yeah.
they do great. And I think because of Jungle Book and how well that was,
Yeah,
I think that's the reason why they're doing so many now.
yeah, yeah.
I think they've also they committed to it a little early. I think they've just made a commitment, like we're going to do all of our big stories in live
But they're
action.
pumping that up. The other thing they also put in here, I don't think I've
Like,
got it, is
they did
is
Marvel.
Lilo and Stitch is also another.
Lilo and Stitch, yeah, it's
Stitch,
another,
yeah.
Lilo.
Lilo.
Lilo. I knew I was saying it wrong. I was like,
Yeah,
Lilo,
yeah.
right.
I actually haven't seen the animated film, believe it or not. So I hear it's decent.
I love that one, dude. That's one of my favorites.
Well, they're doing the live action of
That's a
that.
good
They
one.
did
That's
a
the first
promo
time you
piece.
see like, you know, Pacific Islander brown people as like the main characters, so that's why it like
Right.
hit hard with all of us.
Fair enough.
A lot of my cousins and Filipino friends made that their whole personality when Lilo and Stitch came out.
Cool.
Yeah, it was
Still
a huge
makes me
deal.
cry
in
when I
that
watch it.
Yeah. Then continuing on, Toy Story 5. I kind
Toy
of
Story 5.
felt,
It's just a kid playing with an iPad, and the toys are like, "What happened to me?"
Yeah.
That's so funny.
That's an interesting
That's-
concept, actually.
Huh?
That's an interesting concept, I think.
I was
It
saying this
sounds more
years
interesting than
ago
number
about
4.
why
Number
you couldn't
4.
make a Toy
yeah.
Story 5 because of the iPad kids. And you turned to me and
Yeah.
said, "Wouldn't that be the plot?" And we were both like, "Oh, that's good." Because they
Yeah.
actually did that.
That is a plot would be good. I mean, number 4 didn't necessarily do it for me, and I loved 1, 2, and 3 immensely. So we'll see. I mean, I guess if this is a stronger plot than they did for at number 4, then yes, I'll be happy with it
I think
again.
they have more of a hook with this one about a kid who isn't interested in playing with toys anymore.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
That-
that's an interesting concept to take on because that's
Yeah.
the reality of things.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, that'd be cool. Other things that went on
They're
there.
gonna get sold to some adult who just keeps them on a shelf.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like the way toy collectors are now
Yes.
versus
The second
Yeah.
one tapped into that culture.
Uh-huh.
Toy Story.
Yeah,
Which
they did
that was my
Yeah.
that was my favorite one. Part 2 was my favorite.
That's the highest
Because of
rated,
that,
like
because
that's
they
the
made it
highest
work.
rated sequel of any movie
2 is great. It
right
was-
now. Like it's still a perfect movie on IMDb, actually.
Yeah, it is. Industrial Light and Magic had a whole thing there with the volume kind of stage set up, and they were showing a live demonstration of that whole thing going on there, and which was interesting. Zootopia 2, that was apparently the poster for it. I think it's the poster for it.
Nice,
Um,
dude. Well, the concept art.
Concept
like
art
that.
stuff. Yeah, and then so they announced that. They did all these gimmicky kind of poster, things related to different movies in the Marvel and Star Wars universe and other films and stuff like that.
Could you imagine like Disney characters joking around about cocaine?
The Wolverine and Deadpool one.
Dead Mule.
Mulepool and
Why wasn't Wolverine just a Wolverine?
I was
Yeah, good
just
point.
thinking that.
Because they
Yeah.
don't have a Wolverine. Because they don't have a character already to fit that. They had to go with a character they
Yeah.
already do or have.
They don't have that. That's not even a kid. They made a new character for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the Wolverine should have been played. Like that should have been a Wolverine instead of a
Can't
wolf.
zoom in.
You know.
Yeah. But
That's
either way, Ki Hu Kwan is playing a new character in Zootopia.
Nice.
They went on.
Are you guys fan of Zootopia?
I enjoyed the first one. I thought it was cute. I liked it. I'd see a
I like
second
the concept
one.
of it connecting to the Robin
Hood.
first, you know, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thing is, there were no
works.
birds or like dogs and cats in Zootopia. They kind of stayed away from that type of
Oh, really?
I
I didn't
animal.
even realize that. Interesting.
They
Yeah.
focus on like a
No,
wide variety of
pets.
animals instead of
Yeah,
doing,
but
like,
there's
a
no
special
chickens
one.
or birds or anything like that. Like,
Right.
There's a sloth.
The sloth. And then Avatar is doing a massive Avatar land here in the expansion that they're doing at Disneyland. So they had some demonstration pieces. They're doing a different version than what they did over in Florida. So it won't be the same walkthrough event kind of setup. They announced obviously Avatar 3, Fire and Ash. Nice logo. All in.
man, I haven't even seen the second one yet.
Oh really?
I know. I
Yeah.
have no
Oh,
desire to
it's
see him.
pretty good.
You know what? I feel like when they released the second one, it was so similar in a kind of sense to the original film with what was going on that I think it was almost like I'd call a soft reboot in the reference of or a soft
want to use that term.
Introduction
re-release.
to these characters.
Introduction, yeah, and they're saying. I mean, James Cameron is saying that this film is a very different direction than what the last one went, and I'm kind of hoping it will be because the first one, the original one, had that whole Pocahontas vibe to it, and so more or less did the second one.
Are there
as
any
well.
Terminators in this one?
I would hope so.
Dances
Well, I mean,
Wolves vibe.
well, I know that they deal with the Fire Nation of the Avatar world, so
Fire
I don't know.
Tribe.
Fire Nation of
Fire
Avatar.
Tribe. The Fire Tribe. Sorry. Wow, I just.
Jason, trust me.
Oh, the
This
Fire
is
Nation of
literally the
Avatar.
same.
Oh my god.
Literally
Oh my
the
god, it is too. It is Avatar the Last Airbender. You've got the Air Tribe, you've got the Water Tribe, you've got the Nomads, the Earth Tribe, you've got the.
And Ash
You got
from
the
Evil
fire.
Dead.
So
Ash is
ultimately,
actual- yeah.
not quite, but close enough. But yeah, at the end of the day, we've got the Fire Tribe. I guess that they're going to introduce into the
Freudian
third film.
Fire Nation.
Fire Nation. And then we started getting. I mean, there was a lot of the other stuff, the other news, but everything else that comes up is mostly MCU and Star Wars. So let's kind of jump in. Max, you got to go earlier today, is it? Pretty soon?
No, I can stay for a bit.
Okay, all right. I was going to say, let's jump into the MCU stuff first, and then we'll jump into Star Wars. So, Captain America, they showed a trailer, and I'm going to kind of flash these images up quickly because I don't know if we're technically allowed to show some of these, but they did have images of Harrison Ford as the Red Hulk.
That's cool. You can see him in there. You can see his face in it.
Yeah, yeah.
This is like same chest hair from like Temple of Doom. I bet they reference that a lot. Sure.
Yeah, check out his hairy chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently this is the same trailer they showed at San Diego Comic-Con a few weeks ago for the other
yeah, I
piece.
saw a
But-
leak. It looks awesome.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we did see the leaks that came out. There was so much stuff that was leaked. Honestly, it was not hard to not kind of catch, and I mean, yeah, from what we saw of Captain America, the new trailer they showed, including that scene. I mean, it looks cool. I mean, I'm excited.
I'm stoked
Yeah.
about it.
Any other thoughts, guys, on Cap?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that one. This is a leak, so I don't know if we could really talk about it. So it's slight spoilers. There's a short video of Harrison Ford's President Ross talking about adamantium, and they found that in the Celestial.
Right.
It's a good way to introduce it, huh? To the context of the MCU.
I don't think so. Am I the only person who thinks it's way too late for them to be finding it now?
Adamantium referring to Wolverine's adamantium
Wolverine's
body.
skeleton and his
skeleton, yeah.
I mean,
I
it
guess
could always.
It depends on the context they use it, because like I think it's going to be kind of like an arms race at this point. So I think that's what I mean by the context of the MCU. I think it works perfectly.
And it
They
depends
have
on how
to-
they're going to
Yeah.
introduce the X-Men and the Fantastic Four into the
good way of-
MCU.
It's a good way of introducing like a weird like celestial metal or whatever, like a new element
Sure.
through this thing that's been sitting out there that was changed by Eternal.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, Max. Like as far as
No, I know what you mean. I just don't like the idea of a Wolverine getting his metal skeleton this late into the game.
But again, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's already had it in
That's what I'm saying.
an
That's what I'm
alternate
saying. Maybe they're
universe.
going to say they revealed it earlier, that
Yeah.
Canada had it earlier
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's going to be used as a plot point down the track as to what they create and build as a
I think
a
it's going to be just,
defense
I think
mechanism or attack
maybe-
mechanism.
Yeah, for a plot
I'm
point.
sorry.
Finally, they have something that goes up against like vibranium.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
like the arms race kind of deal and
Yeah.
this being kind of a thing in that context works really
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I also
I
think
mean-
his shield's going to get torn to bits, and he's going to have to steal some of that metal to fabricate a new shield, which is
Oh, Captain
the
America.
is an adamantium mixed with some other stuff.
Yeah, what's
shield.
his shield currently made out of again?
Vibranium.
It's vibranium.
Okay, so-
What would happen if you mix
Vibranium.
adamantium and vibranium together? Then have they done that?
You
Can they
get
do that?
comic accurate shield. It's a vibranium adamantium composite.
Oh, okay, all right.
Let's talk about Sam Wilson right now, who I believe just has a vibranium shield that was
Gotcha.
given to him by.
By by
it's
Steve.
Cap's original shield,
Yeah,
or like a refurbished one, I guess. And his suit apparently is Wakandan made.
Right.
Yeah, they say that in Falcon the Winter
Oh, yeah.
Soldier.
yeah.
I mean, he is ripping through jets with his suit, so I'm sure there's like a good amount of vibranium on that. You know.
Oh, yeah.
That was the MCU's way of saying, like, this guy doesn't have superhero strength, but he's going to do some crazy feats because he's got this vibranium armor he's wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on from Captain America, again, there's so much that came out. We have Daredevil. We saw, well, again, it was, okay, let's talk about this. They dropped a trailer at the D23 that looked like a kind of a finished final trailer. I don't know why they never dropped it online for everybody to see.
Okay, so the main reason people think is because they don't want to step on their own toes. They don't want to drop that and Agatha at the same time and then kill the hype for Agatha because they just showed Daredevil.
Fair enough, that makes
You
sense.
put them next to each other. It's like Daredevil, Agatha. It's
Yeah.
not. They're not
Yeah.
on the same level.
Yeah, yeah. And people are going to,
Agatha hype.
they don't want to less hype up Agatha, because they did
I
drop the
heard
Agatha trailer.
I heard closer to the release date of Agatha, they're going to start to release some of those shows that they showed.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you don't want to take our attention away.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Daredevil.
Oh, nice.
That's so cool.
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
But they're dropping,
It's weird because
the
everyone
composers.
was a little involved with this show. And stop talking about it and say the things they shouldn't be saying. Like they revealed Muse is in the show and White Tiger.
Oh,
and, Punisher's back, who's on stage with all of them.
Yeah.
I think it's not really a secret anymore what's really going on in this show with Fisk back and everyone the main team back.
Yeah.
So I'm just great they're really starting to talk. I'm just happy they're starting to talk about it right now.
Yeah. The composers. These are the composers for the X-Men. No, wait, no. Hang on. What are the? Were these the composers for the
I can't
X-Men?
remember who did it for the X-Men.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah.
It wasn't for the X-Men.
But anyway, yeah, these guys are composing the score for this for Daredevil. So that was a big announcement. Born Again has officially also been renewed for season 2, and filming will begin very soon.
Already?
I imagine this is going to be their flagship show.
I think so too.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I think Daredevil's just a big enough hero to say, well,
Yeah.
if we're going to make him a TV show, he's going to be our main TV show.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
he's also one of those characters who has so much going on that a movie would be a little hard to constrain him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was the biggest out of the Netflix collection too. I feel like
Yeah.
popular.
Yeah, I
one.
mean, certainly more than Iron Fist.
Yeah. Jumping through, the cast from Fantastic Four had a little promo hello kind of to the audience kind of thing, and we got a kind of first look at one of the costumes there, Johnny Storm in the
I feel like it would look so much better if the sleeves were blue.
I think
I
it
know
looks
it's
clean
big.
as hell, dude. That
It
looks
definitely feels
I
retro
feel-
though. I mean,
I like it.
I feel like old school '60s, like like
Got the right aesthetic.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Like how clean. It's almost like a nice, like a race suit almost.
It also gives them room to kind of upgrade when they. I'm going to assume they're going to end up at this current day of the MCU at some point, for
By
whatever
the end of the
purposes.
movie, for sure.
Yeah, so it'll give them the chance to upgrade to the more, to a more updated, thing for when we see them. But I think it's going to be fun to see this version of an origin story because everything else has taken place within the modern world at the time of their release. And this being out of date, it's another character out of date, the same way that Captain America was, where he's, he comes from a different time frame and is thrust into the present. And I'm fine with seeing that happen again. Sure, it's reusing the same thread and plot line that they did with Captain America. I feel like I need to see these characters.
The era that they're doing it kind of applies well with like what Reed Richards would want their team to be like,
Sure, yeah.
It's like, oh, we're a family, and it kind of
Yeah. Yeah. And by the time
the tone that the
Yeah.
Fantastic Four has, I think translates well in the '60s, and I like that we're seeing that happen in the '60s.
Yeah.
Stuff like
So
it's the opposite of a gritty remake,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it won't
doesn't
be
seem
at
as
all.
gritty as like what was that? Fantastic Five? Fantastic
And
Four?
stick.
Fantastic Four. I was trying to get that out. I couldn't even think of
Like
it.
we're branching away from the gritty reboots, and
Yes.
this is like the anti-gritty reboot,
This is
and
what I
I'm
was
really
thinking. Now
I'm
that-
excited about that.
Yeah.
I was thinking now that we've seen some of this and seen how the vibe of it, what are your guys' thoughts about the Reed Richards we've seen so far? At least the small glimpse we've seen of Pedro as Reed. Do you
I
think
like
he
the,
works in the movie?
Pedro Pascal.
I like that he's a public
What did I say?
figure. Like he's already a public figure, kind of like a Mr.
Yeah.
Wizard in a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Like I think that's great. So far, I like it. I like that they're like, oh no, like according to the trailer that we didn't watch,
Yeah. Yes.
there's a lot of like publicity going around, like he's being interviewed by news people
Yeah.
and stuff, and how he's like very a public figure already, and
Yeah.
I think they all kind of are.
Yeah. And they're only a few weeks into shooting
the
too.
mustache, and he seems a little too perfect so far. I think he needs to be a little bit of a flawed character to work.
Well, that's the thing that
They really dive into that in the movie.
that's the thing about his character. He needs to appear flawless, but
Yeah.
then as you
Yeah.
start to delve in, like I don't think we should be able to see that yet.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree. But my point about the mustache stands. I do not like a mustache on Reed.
Yeah, fair enough. Moving on, another one that they actually dropped some footage for there was Ironheart. And I actually did kind of see one of the little leaks of this trailer. And you know what? I enjoyed this character. She was brought in. Hang on, where was she brought in? I completely forgot.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda Forever. Yeah, and I
The
actually
show was
liked.
done by that time. It was filmed and completed.
Yeah, I like the actress who played that character, and I'm committed to seeing more of what they do with her character. But I'm not as familiar with the character, so I'm not as interested. But I do want to see this character succeed because she seems like she's a rough, raw kind of character who's just living in the real world, dealing with the real world situations, and it's very Peter Parker of her almost.
She's not. She's not like privileged like Tony was. She doesn't have.
She has to make do, and
Yeah.
and
And I'm looking forward to seeing that kind of story.
I wasn't excited about this until I saw that trailer that we.
That we
And I
didn't
know-
see.
So, like the music they chose for it was great too. I thought
Yeah.
that was
The
really
photos
nice.
of the trailer.
And we got Jim Rash back as the dean for MIT.
it's amazing.
Amazing. He was in if you remember, Brent, he was also in Civil War.
It's been a while. Hang on.
He was the dean of MIT who asked Tony for the grant money at the end.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All right. Oh, that's the same actor. Okay. All
Or
right.
self
Okay.
hot dog.
Right.
The Russo brothers brought in like most of the community casts so far in a lot of Marvel movies. So
Yeah.
hopefully now they're doing 2 more. We might get Gillian Jacobs, maybe Jeff
Right.
Winger.
We definitely won't get Chevy
I
Chase.
want to.
Yeah.
Why not?
I want to see Annie in the show. I want to, or in the
See
MCU.
Annie.
There's a lot of roles she could play.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there was anything
Here
else
as
that
an
was
actual character instead of a
mentioned.
cameo,
It
though.
was Spider-Man.
MCU stuff.
Spider-Man.
I'll do the animation stuff later, separate. I might jump into a bit of Star Wars just for now too, but we'll do the animation stuff towards the end there. So yeah, Star Wars stuff. Andor season 2 had some video footage there. They dropped a few leaks of a few of the different moments and scenes. Yeah, I know. Well, it's not. It's something different. It's slightly different than an Intersector. It's a totally different design from the Intersector.
I mean, it does look kind of different, but it has the same wings.
Yeah, but the actual base of the back of the ship is actually different there. It's got a very weird shape. The funny thing is that people are kind of saying this looks like it might, because there's another scene of a wheat field grass. It might be on Lothal in one of the story arcs, which is Ezra Bridges' homeworld, which would be cool if they do, because that was a center for shipbuilding from resources, which I thought was kind of cool. So maybe that would exist on Lothal, which would be kind of a very fun piece. And then, of course, got director Krennic back again as well in this film. So there's a lot of returning cast from Rogue One.
Yeah, because it should go right into Rogue One, right?
It's supposed to go right into hey there, how's it going, Anchorman?
Anchorman.
Yeah, it goes. It's supposed to lead up to just minutes before Rogue One begins. And you should be able to watch it straight through, is what Luna Diego said in interviews at the con. But yeah, I mean, very little is known about what plot points. We just know that each 3-part story is a year apart from each other. So the first one, I don't know if it takes place over the entire year or whether it just takes place inside of a year, a moment of time where there's a situation where the
Death Star still needs to be built by the end of the first season, so I imagine there might be a little bit of a time skip.
Oh yeah, that's it, because the Death Star. Well, I mean,
it was already mostly built.
It was already mostly built. Yeah,
they had a good amount.
How much of it was built? I don't remember how much of it they showed was actually built.
I think they were putting the panels onto the blaster part, and like in Rogue One, they see him putting the shield onto the blaster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was the final
it was
component.
like I think most of it was already built. They're just.
I think that was when it actually was finally built. When we saw that shot of the shield generator being the weapon generator being set back into the ship.
All right, I couldn't figure out. I couldn't remember how much of it was actually built in.
No, it takes place because Andor season 1 Anchorman is 5 years before Rogue One, the events of Rogue One. Each story, there'll be 4 separate stories taking place a year apart, from 4th year before Rogue One, 3rd year before, 2nd year, and 1 year before Rogue One, and then leading into the events of the moment of Rogue One. So I assume this story will be over the course of the year, but it seems weird to have a 3-part story that takes place over the course of a year. I feel like they're just going to be moments in time that over that year, or I don't know how they're going to play that out, but it's going to be interesting to see. They didn't show too much because they're trying to keep that under wraps and everything like that. I think they'll start dropping footage for that because that comes out 2025, and they'll start dropping stuff soon after Skeleton Crew.
See how they introduce K2SO.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, K2SO is also in that trailer as well, so he pops up and gets inducted into it. We also had other news on the side there. Just quickly, the Lando project is definitely not moving forward, and I know this was news from about 2 weeks ago.
This happens every 2 years where they're like, Lando's dead.
Yeah.
Never mind, Lando's back.
Yeah.
He's dead. So by next year, I think it'll be back.
I took
totally.
trailer.
Let's make Lando a video game.
There was no news about Acolyte
That'd be a
season
good
2.
game.
Yeah, there was no announcement for Acolyte season 2 at. It doesn't mean it won't
No,
happen.
it's too soon.
Too soon.
Aired.
Yeah. They did show some scenes from Mando and the Grogu movie, which had a few little moments.
That's the scene you went with first?
Well, I don't know. I just picked a couple of.
He's doing a Die Hard right there.
I didn't want to put too much. I didn't want to actually put way too much, but it seems like Zeb is back in. There is another Razor Crest. They have another Razor Crest back into it. So
I noticed that. Yeah, they're not.
They found one.
Somebody found one. I don't know if it's.
It's already vintage by the time that show came out.
Yeah, I mean, it could be Zeb's Razor Crest. We don't know. I mean, for all we know.
Well, it looks like a slot machine. It looks like a slot machine from Canto Bite. if you ask me.
It's like a car. The same make of car exists more than just one. It's not just one single vehicle, but we will be getting a Razor Crest back.
No, that's I know. I don't think I'm not saying it's the same one, dude.
He's just quoting Mandalorian.
Yeah, it's quoting Bill Burr's character.
And they'll never be seen. Yeah.
I just don't get why Zeb is in this show, but they didn't even mention him in
Ahsoka. I know.
Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think they're biding their time. Okay. I mean, obviously.
Dude, I'm okay with restraint.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when there's no restraint at all, it sucks, man. So like a little bit of restraint is good. I think that's
I agree, but we had Hera back, we had Chopper.
Yeah, restraint, Max.
He was
Just the
mentioned.
one character they didn't show.
I think we should have had less.
Uh-huh.
We should have had less
Anyway.
characters from Rebels. That would have been better.
Anyway.
You know? That's too much.
I'm sure we're going to see a lot of stuff going on in the Mando film.
Anything.
One of the big scenes that they showed in the trailer, by the way, was Mando going up against some AT-AT walkers. So we've got some stuff going on in a snow battle with some giant walkers, and I'm kind of excited for that. Again, I didn't want to pull any of that video footage. It was just like, just in case.
Going to reveal he was at the Battle of Hoth, and he actually turned the tides.
Yeah. No, I think Kanan's already dead anyway at this point. So, but anyway,
no, I think that would have been the least restraint they could have had if they just put in like a Kanan Force Ghost throughout Ahsoka.
He wouldn't be a Force Ghost. He never taught. He never learned. He never knew of the Force Ghost.
Picture of Freddie Prinze Jr. in.
They
in
did have
cockpit.
they did have a picture of Freddie Prinze Jr.
Like
on
that
the,
would
as
be
a photo.
good.
Yeah, or a hologram or something like that. Anyway,
photo in like what's her name?
Yeah.
Her name
Either way, they are shooting the Mando movie at this point in time, and they'll be shooting for the next several months, I am guessing. And we get that in 2026. So it's kind of cool that they showed. It was only a few weeks into shooting, but they did show a little bit of footage. They put together some stuff. The big one, of course, that they showed was Skeleton Crew. They showed a trailer. They dropped it online. We did a reaction to it. So, guys, I kind of want to get your impression of Skeleton Crew, the trailer.
Sorry, I couldn't make that one. I was out of.
That's all right. Elijah, what were your
It
thoughts?
looks like they live on planet Irvine.
Mm-hmm.
That's my takeaway.
Okay. Planet
I don't know what.
Yeah, okay.
Planet Amblin Irvine.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know what's
Amblin
going on
Irvine?
with
Uh-huh.
Is that an Amblin planet?
going-
Oh, please tell me the planet's called Amblin. That'd be awesome.
I mean, that would be cool. Or like
be so
it's
sick.
got like it looks like Irvine to me. I don't know what's going on there with
Here we
that
go.
city. I mean, this just
It probably is, bro. Or it's probably the valley, dude. It looks like
You
the
know?
valley to me.
It definitely.
this is like. I mean, look at that. This is Irvine, man. That's all Irvine.
Uh-huh.
It's the LA River. Dude, I'm stoked about
Yeah.
Star Wars suburb, dude. Like
A lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just see how they're gonna make that work. We'll see.
I like
There's got to be a
I'm
planet
so-
for everything.
Well, that's just me. I think I'm down for the slice of life Star Wars stuff. That's why I like
Yeah.
Andor so much.
Right.
Because it's not about like the Jedi or the Empire mostly. It's like you get to see everyday people.
Right.
That's the stuff that I'm interested in Star Wars.
Sure.
And like seeing
Makes
that
sense.
suburb of Star Wars,
Yeah.
like how normal people live.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got me really excited, dude.
Yes. I
I'm
mean, they
excited
got
about
street
this.
lights. They got like
City infrastructure, like
yeah.
how
I'm gonna take this to the technical and reverse side of the perspective, though. The idea of cities and lit live spaces in Star Wars has always been kind of closed in and mostly closed in and contained. And here we see the suburbs. So I feel like there's this less analog element to the design of what is going on in a place that's still a very analog time.
I know what you mean, but like even Coruscant must have had its suburbs far past the underbelly.
yeah.
Well, not really, because it was city built on top of city built up on top of city, and I guess Coruscant is a very not necessarily a good place to compare it, because it really is just one giant city.
It's just an aspect of like the population that we haven't seen yet.
Right.
No, yeah, it's an
It's
aspect.
even, like
Yeah.
like outposts that are kind of just
Right.
Wild West stuff.
Yeah,
But then there's, where's the middle class people live in Star Wars, and I think this is
It's weird to see
it's
how
really good.
sucks.
Oh no, I like it. I'm
Two, two,
I like
two.
it too, but it seems very earthly.
Yeah.
Like the way the streets
Yeah.
look, the lawns look,
Hey,
and the
Ted,
school
how's it
bus. It felt a little too
I think it just-
earth-based.
It feels a
Yeah,
little too
it just
earthy, but
opens a lot more to
Yeah.
like that concept.
but
It was
again,
intriguing as
they've
Earth-
already but they've also alluded to that too when you consider that after the rule of the empire where everything was I'm kind of contradicting my own self in this situation, but after the fall of the empire, we get to see that with Navarro went from from Mandalorian, it went from a tiny little city kind of escape, that outpost that got bigger and became a huge city by the Mandalorian season 3. So you do see that there is a growth in population. So I'm accepting that a suburban area like this can exist in this time period because we know it is in the time period of the Mandalorian, and we know that because
you got to consider the demographic of the protagonists too.
yeah.
Not very often, other than like the Ewok adventure or whatever, are we focused on kids? And like,
Sure. Yeah.
we're not going to be like in the outskirts or Wild West. Yeah, there's kids there, but like we want the main characters to be like taken out of this comfort zone to like and pulled into adventure.
Yeah.
And I like that there's like thriving, like thriving towns and cities that are just there. People are just living their lives.
Yeah.
And how they dig up this ancient ship because that's just what the universe has, I don't know. This got me excited about it. I was like, whatever about it. And then I saw the trailer. I was like, holy shit, this is cool. I've never seen a Star Wars suburb before.
I like the Goonies element of it. I think that was what caught me off guard the most, was how much it feels a lot more like a traditional kids' adventure film.
Sure, yeah, it definitely goes to the elements of Amblin or Goonies or any of those.
Called Amblin. That would be so cool.
I keep saying Explorers.
Amblin does sound like a Star Wars planet. Like it really just kind of would work so well. Like,
such a good nod and on the nose. Like
they're about they're not bounty hunters, Chris. They're pirates. They are basically. Well, hang on.
Pirates do
no, he's talking about in the Lego.
Oh, the Lego. Oh, okay.
Bounty
all right.
hunters.
Okay, all right.
Mentioned.
Oh, you're okay. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna get into that too. So basically, they had a big display showing off the pirate characters that were on display at.
And we see what time place it's set in. I mean,
yeah.
we know that guy from Mando.
Yeah, well, Vale, who is the.
I think you mean Star Wars Wolverine.
Yeah. What? No, but Vane or Vale, I can't remember his name. He's the pirate that escaped in Mandalorian. Vane. Yeah, he's Vane. He's the pirate who escaped in Mandalorian season 3. He's the one who got away from the green guy.
Getting blown up, he was like, "See you later, pal."
Yeah. So
is
we know that
the one that's in the ride, the Star Wars ride.
No, that's Hondo Anaka,
Hondo.
and he technically is of course he's alive during this time period.
He's popping up in the show for
sure. He's got to. I want to see Hondo Anaka live action in this show.
He's such a fan favorite character. I thought he was going to be in Book of Boba Fett just because of how close he is to characters of that era.
They're holding off on that character for sure. But we got to see some of these other characters. This is the droid that they've been showing off, and we see him there with a peg leg and everything. Now here's the thing though, the biggest comparison that people are making is to Michael Jackson's Captain EO, which was actually a Disney-esque ride that was existing back in the 80s. It was like an
exclusive movie thing, right?
Yeah, it was a movie.
You can see it on YouTube, but I'm too young to have ever actually really.
Yeah, they took it down years ago, but there's a lot of comparisons. The robot is similar.
The Hooter, you got Hooter, the blue guy.
Yeah. So that's the robot from it, and you've got this like literally. It's like look at that. Compare the
definitely.
So there's some major influences there of Captain EO.
I'm on board with all of this, dude.
Yeah, no, I mean it can be.
Who directed Captain EO again? Didn't it have a big director?
Don't know who it directed.
It was George Lucas and
was it George Lucas?
Francis Ford Coppola.
Ford Coppola.
Oh, really? They directed
Lucas wrote it and Coppola directed it. I knew it had some crazy big names attached to it. I just couldn't remember who. But Coppola is crazy that he directed that movie.
Yeah.
And Angelica was the witch or the evil lady in it.
Dude, I had to shut my glasses off during her part because she's all like reaching at the screen. I was like, it was
3D was good when that 3D was good. It's different 3D.
Glasses off when I was a kid.
Johnny Depp is Hondo.
Johnny Depp is Hondo.
Yeah, sorry, guys,
It
I'm
would
just
work
catching up
too
with
well.
some things.
It would be too on the nose, but he would obviously kill it.
But it'd be funny. It would be funny. Yeah. He'd want to play it his way though, and Hondo is such a very like
Hondo
the
was
Jim
based on
Cummings voices.
Jack Sparrow, right?
Yeah.
Is he based on him? There's like we need
Not
a
exactly.
Yeah,
He's a
we're
scoundrel.
I'm excited for the Mando Grogu film. You know, the little leaks that came out of D23 were kind of fun, and they've only shot a little bit at the moment, so I'm excited to see what it's all about. Let's see. Sorry, again, just catching up on chat here. Do you guys think we're going to see Hondo and Nako and Scott? Yeah, again, same thing. I would hope so.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the right show to actually make him appear in, but again, I don't know.
When is
Depends on where
it?
this is.
When is Skeleton Crew?
Around the same time as Mandalorian.
It's in the
probably right after the last season.
Post Empire.
Yeah, it's going to be at the same time.
That's why
Yes,
the neighborhoods kind of work a little better because it's not during a time of sheer oppression.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, and again, that's why it's accepting that there would be a suburban kind of like the galaxy is getting back to a less oppressed kind of time period.
Yeah, they're getting back to
and
the
that's why it
normal,
feels and that's why it feels weird to me because we are seeing this less analog kind of look to Star Wars, and maybe part of me still needs to see that, and maybe there's a lot more of that going on in the background and the small scenes. It's just weird to see open streets like that we see there for this. But I mean, I like the kids' speeders. I'm down for this story with kids, being the main focus of the story and going off on an adventure. I guess it is definitely it's obviously targeted at children, but it's going to be hopefully giving us something new in the Star Wars universe is where I'm going with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah.
And once I saw the suburbs, I was like, oh, dude, this is awesome. This is great.
And then, we
didn't even mention Jude Law being a Jedi. I mean,
Jude Law. Well, wait. Is he a Jedi though? Or is he a con
a cheap trick using.
We've seen it before. Yeah, they did that in.
I mean, it seems
Obi-Wan.
like he did that during a dire situation where they actually needed to use the Force.
And also, if you have a look at the keys moving, it looks kind of fake. It doesn't look like it's being levitated.
It didn't
like
look great.
Jedi.
It definitely looked like it was on a string.
Yeah, it felt like it was on a string, and I feel like that. Yeah, I feel like. Oh yeah, absolutely. Have a look at the trailer again.
For that shot.
Yeah. It feels like it's being like wired on, bouncing on a wire. It's bouncing as it moves, and it's like
because it was like IRL, dude.
Yeah, but that's not the way the Force works. It should be nice and smooth. It's like so. Yeah, I got a feeling he's a con man rather than as being a Jedi. That's my guess.
I do think if he is a con man, they will eventually find a real Jedi.
Possibly. I think one of the kids is a Jedi. That's my theory.
Redundant because we just had that.
What's that? Maybe. I mean, I could be wrong, but at the same time, it's. But
I'm hoping that Max.
Are you talking about?
Jedi.
But you'd be getting a brand new Jedi Knight in the world where
This is nothing new.
Anyway.
It happens all the time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough. You got me there, Jason.
The next age is
Jedi everywhere.
There is. Sorry, Max.
The next age is specifically the age of the Jedi. That's what they have it listed at, like the age after the age of rebellion in terms of like the sequel trilogy.
Yeah. That's way later. We're still in that.
Well, I know they haven't gotten to that yet, but I think they're definitely planting seeds for the kinds of Jedi, even if, and even the Jedi we will see in that.
I'd like for this to be a really enjoyable show that's very standalone, doesn't really have impact on anything. I'd be okay with that,
Even though it's in the same,
got more stuff like that,
Even though it's in the same universe as Mandalorian, it doesn't mean it has to tie into Mandalorian, except for it already has because the pirate who escaped is from.
I want to see Bill Burr's character Mayfield show up when he's their new teacher.
That'd be fun. I didn't even think about him.
He moves to the suburbs after.
God,
that'd be great.
That'd be funny.
It's just old dads, but
he's just sick. He's sick of these kids already.
Yeah, those are the
scooters.
Those are the three
wired
big things.
headphones.
Yeah, those are the three big things that they showed from Star Wars related stuff. As for animation, there's only one thing that they showed, and they showed that the day before, which was the animated Rebuild the Galaxy.
Rebuild the Galaxy.
There
They've
has
been teasing
been
that for a while. I mean, they've
Yeah,
had
they've been teasing-
trailers
yeah.
for that out already.
but they announced 0 new animated shows today at the
I
Lucasfilm
think Bad
Animation.
Batch and kind of I don't want to say killed them, but I think it made them more
I-
apprehensive about the kinds of shows and animated shows they do. I think they're going to be doing a lot more stuff like Visions
Yeah.
than Bad Batch.
Yes,
I think
please.
they're kind of.
I'm done with that computer
Well-
animation style. I'm hoping that they kind of move away from that and
Well, I think they also shafted themselves, locking them into a never-ending
agree
story
with that.
of
they're kind of not really doing much
Well,
with that anymore. So I think we should move on to.
I mean, I would
Yeah,
still
I
like
think
to
we should
see.
move on from all vestiges of the Clone Wars for at least a few years.
See, I mean, sorry.
Well,
I-
Tales of the Empire will get animation like that
Yeah.
or whatever, you know.
It
but
doesn't
I
mean
think
that they're
it's
not-
that.
Yeah, but it also doesn't mean they're not in production or something. They're just not ready to announce anything just yet. And I'm wondering whether, with Bob Iger's return, that he put a hold on certain elements, including Star Wars animation. And although the Bad Batch was well received by people, I don't think it did well as well as say the Clone Wars or Rebels did.
Yeah, I don't think it really had that big
The
of an
impact on the wider range. Again, it has its fans, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was a bad show. We both
Yeah.
enjoyed a lot of it. There was some shaky stuff in it, but I do think that the lacklusterness of that show coming from the last season of Clone Wars definitely put a bit of a wrench in their plans to keep making more of these
So
animated Clone Wars era Clone Wars spinoff shows.
I feel like there's still one more because I feel like there needs to be something dealing with Captain Rex because they've kind of alluded that in the Bad Batch. But that aside,
I think it'll be a few years before we see that.
If there was another animated show,
like a
I'd
Tales
still
of
like
the-
to see. I would like to see the Luke Skywalker Academy taking place between Return of the
Yes,
Jedi and
I want.
Force
That's
Awakens.
what I want to see. I want
We
to see
need
more
to
of
see-
that era.
Yeah,
they only
and-
ever do that era for
Then they
kids
could
now,
do
which is-
Han and Leia, and they could do all those
Yeah.
characters and give us their entire stories in animated form.
They need to
and
do
give
a
us a
Clone
really
Wars
good story.
show, but in that era where you're really getting to follow and learn about
Well,
these characters.
The
and their lives and
political world of that world could
That-
be. It was
That
fascinating.
story deserves more than that Clone Wars style animation, though.
I'm not saying that kind of animation. I'm just
Jason
saying
doesn't
way
like the
that-
animation. I
No,
personally,
I know, but I'm just
like
saying
it.
not even the animation stuff.
Uh-huh.
I'm talking about the way that Clone Wars was able to really
Emotion.
delve into the
I
characters
feel like-
a lot deeper than
Yeah.
the movies.
They could sum up Captain Rex like the same way they did Barriss Offee in like a
Yeah.
Tales of the Soldiers or
Yes.
something. You
I
know,
Tales
think
of-
like
they-
that.
I think
well,
like,
they
that's
didn't
even
even
Tales of
they
the
didn't even
Clones.
announce a new Tales of. I was expecting them to at least
Yeah,
announce
because the last
something.
one sucked, dude. The Tales of the Empire was so lame, dude.
And
I'm
it
sorry,
was-
but it wasn't.
It had some good stuff. It
There
had
was
some
some,
bad
there was,
stuff.
yeah, there's some things that
Yeah,
worked
but
and things
the
that didn't
bad
work.
outweighed the good for me. Like it just wasn't.
But you already don't like
no,
the
it's
style
not
of
that.
animation.
There's certain like
I think
Tales
he's
of the
also
Empire,
comparing
Tales
to
of the
Visions,
Jedi
which was-
Yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah,
Like I loved that.
Mhm.
Like it's not the animation; it's the storytelling that they
Yeah.
do.
Tales of
with
the Rebel
animation
Alliance. That's what I
better.
meant to say, not
Yeah.
Tales of the Clones. Was Tales of the Rebels.
Yeah.
It's a lot
Yeah.
bigger, and you can do stories with Rex and Leia and
Yeah.
all the people who formed the Rebel Alliance in different eras.
Yeah.
But like, I wouldn't want to do Leia or Luke for that. I'd want to save them for better stuff.
right. Well, again, that's
Like,
why I'd
they
like to see an
could
actual
probably do
series
Rex.
based on those
Yeah.
characters.
But they could
because-
do Rex and like
Yeah,
some other
yeah.
characters from the Clone Wars
Yeah.
and stuff like in that
Yeah.
style. I'm okay with that. But
Yeah.
that
But
just
it's
Barriss Offee arc
I would
was
love to do.
good.
I love to follow
Art,
Shmi
but-
more. Shmi has a really interesting story. Is it Shmi? What's
yeah,
Padme's?
Tales of the Bounty Hunters would be great.
What was
Sorry?
Padme's
Yeah,
double's name? It's not
Oh,
Shmi. It's
Tales of the Bounty Hunters would be
That's-
great, dude.
Yeah, Tales of the Bounty Hunter would be great.
Yeah. Shmi, Anakin's mom?
No, I'm talking about what was Padme's double's name? Saab? I can't
Max.
remember.
No, nobody wants to know about her character.
No, they fleshed her out in the comics to where she
Yeah, well,
started.
then
kind of
that's
this whole-
done. That's fine. That's set.
They didn't do the
I-
middle part. They only see the end of it with her meeting
Uh-huh,
Vader
uh-huh.
years later. And Vader meets her, and he's like, it's like a vision of
Give me more
Padme.
Ventress. Give me more Ventress. I want to see Ventress.
That's lame, dude. That's
Elijah's fed up with all of us.
it's not lame, Jason. You gotta read
my
this
mind
book.
goes
It's
blank.
crazy.
Like all the pre. I just still.
Uh
I can't deal with the
Padme's
pre.
body double, dude.
huh.
She started a Padme religion.
All right. So let's move on. So
You need to stay comics, Max.
So At the end of the day, nothing today. I mean, they may release something tonight, but I doubt it very much because the Lucasfilm animation panels today, there was no new releases of anything. But we did get the other day Rebuild the Galaxy, which comes out September 13th, which I am kind of looking forward to because, like, Star Wars Lego has been fun. They're doing a 4-part kind of series movie. I don't know what they're going to call it exactly. And they dropped a new trailer, and it just looks fun. I mean, you know, I'm excited to see that too, and we'll definitely do a reaction to that. I'm
Empire
sure.
was meh as hell.
Huh?
No,
Yeah.
I agree with.
It'll be Star Wars What If, basically. It's like taking the galaxy and re-switching around
It's
things.
What If in a different realm.
Yeah.
It's not playing around with traditional Star Wars stuff. It's also Lego, so it's a
Lego-
little bit more.
Lego has always kind of done the what if kind of thing, like
Yeah, I know.
the whole 3PO involvement,
Sure.
and like he's pretty much the real hero. kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
So this is the perfect context for that type of story.
yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
And
And
doing
it's,
some really interesting
it's
stuff.
low
Like Rush
in-
Jar.
Yeah.
and it's low stakes when you do Lego. It doesn't really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the real reason.
Oh, yeah,
why it's so
Manny-
much.
Manny was
Rush
there
Jar doesn't
yesterday.
need to be a thing
Yeah.
taken completely seriously. You just be a fun bit in an episode.
I didn't realize he was signing for free in the Lucasfilm booth. That's cool. I mean, he seems like
Nice.
like he's really nice guy. But
My boy's even cool IRL, man.
yeah, there you go.
He's
But he
playing,
did it. He announced that he has no clue whether Acolyte season 2 is moving forward or not. They've heard no word.
Hoping
So-
for his sake, for his character.
I hope so too. I hope they really
I
focus
think
on his
if not,
character
they
much
might
more.
just do a standalone Khmer show, just because his character
hell
was
yeah,
such a
dude.
standout.
Yeah,
From him being a kid
yeah,
through the centuries.
yeah.
How old is he?
Yeah, I want to know how the story began, and I want to know how the story ends. We've seen how the story's going
Well, I
in the
think
middle.
the plot for
More,
season
more
2.
roles, more
That'd be-
roles for young Filipinos.
There you go. Yeah,
He just got cast as Lindsay Lohan's husband, and for the new.
Yeah, I just saw that.
for which one?
Yeah,
Him now.
The new which movie?
Freaky Friday 2.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh, that's cool.
Friday.
Yeah.
Cool. He's a good actor. He was fine in Acolyte.
I like him. He's great in The Good Place.
Yeah.
And Nine Perfect Strangers, another great role.
Right.
He just kills it in.
I'll have to check out his whole catalog.
Chris will take a comic run. Chris was not hugely into the Acolyte, I don't think, but I enjoyed the Acolyte.
I mean, you don't have to enjoy Acolyte. You just got to like a Khmer's character. So that's all.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But yeah, comic run sounds
Yeah.
realistic.
So, yeah, guys, jumping into the last part for the day, because we've gone for nearly an hour and a half now, but the comic book animation stuff, they announced quite a few things. X-Men 97, Season 2 are going to be wearing the Grant Morrison suits. What does this mean, Max, in a nutshell?
So you just go back to those suits. I don't feel like grabbing the book off the shelf. Those suits where they're kind of redesigned that Frank quietly put them in. Quietly, that's his last name. Quietly.
Didn't you do that in
Quietly.
Phoenix?
What was that?
Isn't that what they were wearing in like the Phoenix movie that they just the most recent?
They did allude to that. It's different in that movie because it's like a one-piece thing with just the wider X on top. The Grant Morrison era, those are jackets they're wearing. It's very much reminiscent of the 01 X-Men movie of them wearing black leather. Each team member has a different kind of slight variations of it. With Phoenix, where Jean Grey wears just like a long shirt with an X logo on it. Logan just wears like an open jacket. I think it might be some of. I love Frank Whiteley. I love Frank Miller. It might be one of the biggest misses in that whole saga is just those dumb jackets. I think it took away so much of the character's individuality, but I think they're going to be leaning into that.
All right.
Grant Morrison saga even more after they did E for Extinction.
Fair enough.
Maybe fully in this, or are they gonna like just allude to it, kind of like Wolverine's?
No, I think they're going to be wearing it. I think these are
Probably
going to be the new X outfits, which
Yeah.
But wait, isn't that like 2000 something? Isn't that like?
I thought the art was
years after like the 94, 97 type run.
It's weird art.
yeah, this was 01, 02.
2005. Okay.
Look it up.
Anyway, we'll move on.
The Ultimates.
A few more things.
Era.
So they're also saying that the animation styles for each of the shows are going to be kind of changed up a bit. So they're going to there's
That's
no
good. I
in-house
think
style.
Marvel, you know,
Same.
DC has a lot more of a rigorous house style than Marvel does in terms of
Right.
comic books. I think Marvel used to have a really typical house style.
Yeah.
In the last 10, 15 years, they've really opened their, well, I would say 20 years maybe, they've really opened up the evolution of what the Marvel style means, where it could be really abstract.
Right.
Something like Frank Sienkiewicz's work or
Right.
it's another good. Chris Bachalo's is really kind of more abstract than a lot of the other people, and I think the animation could serve from that in terms of like just different looks, different styles, different feels, and emotions it shows.
Right. Yeah. Then also on top of the X-Men in '97, we've also got Marvel's Zombies. They've dropped a whole pile of characters
Oh shit!
around that. I think actually maybe this was not
Agent
zombies.
Wu.
Maybe this is something else. I think this was zombies. Yeah.
Where's Agent Wu?
Oh yeah.
Oh, keep
Yeah, that's
going.
zombies too.
Yeah. Sorry, zombies.
Oh,
I
number
don't
three,
know.
yeah.
I don't know
Mad
what these-
Max Wu. He's got the Road Warrior thing on
Yeah,
his
and
shoulder.
he's still doing the playing cards.
Oh,
and
yeah.
magic.
That's
Close-up
funny.
magic. Oh, that's awesome, dude.
It looks like we've got.
That looks awesome.
Yeah. So these look like they're the heroes. These look like I don't know if they're all. Are they other zombies?
You got
Did the zombies
Aquafina
ever
on the
become?
right side of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then of course we've got Camilla Khan.
I think I've heard Kamala is going to be the
Kamala.
one of the, basically the lead of the show.
Makes sense. She's becoming we've got a lot of cool characters there. Anyway, that it'll be a 4-part episode TV event, apparently, which is going to be interesting. And then they teased Marvel Zombies, the Mandarin giving Shang-Chi the 10 rings.
Scroll
and saving
biker
his-
gang, dude.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah,
Nice, dude. That's
Scroll
fun.
Biker Gang. Yeah,
Just glad
Nux still
he's
sees us.
around, man.
Yeah.
It's one of the best movies of like Phase 3 or
Yeah.
Phase the new Phase 4, I guess.
Yeah.
4.
And then, why am I missing some animation stuff here? Oh yeah, What If? So basically, Oscar Isaac will appear in What If Season 3. Apparently, the Season 3 will be the final appearance, from what I understand, of the show too. Shang-Chi will be
I
in
actually
it.
just talked to one of the directors and animation
Yeah.
supervisors, I believe his job is for
Uh-huh.
What If. Stephen Ferenc. I know him a little bit from just convention stuff. See him around
Right.
a bunch. And he was basically saying that What If Season 3 is the last because it's completing the story arc that they're telling with Peggy Carter and the Watcher.
Gotcha.
And that he said it will have a satisfying conclusion. It's not going to be,
Oh,
even though there
nice.
is an anthology aspect to it, they actually wanted to tell a full 3-season full arc story that kind of.
What If does a good
good.
What If it does a good job of doing like there's kind of a through storyline, but still each one is individual, you know?
I think they've been doing that.
Way to do it.
Hmm.
Like instead of like episodically, like this is nice
Yeah.
to have these like standalone things and kind of just
Yeah.
The only miss for me was the Kaori stuff. I thought that character kind of went nowhere and was a little too overpowered and perfect.
I
But
like that
besides-
character though.
She was all right. I mean,
I like
I just don't like
I
the
liked
idea of someone being like, "I'm gonna fix the world." Okay, did it? Like it just seems a little.
Well, it's got to come with consequences,
Easy.
so hopefully they'll develop that.
Well,
in
the
season
consequences
3.
was
I like that the what got me of that was like the indigenous people overcoming the
Yeah.
I like that aspect.
like that for that
Oh, yeah.
reason alone is why I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So just seeing that was kind of cool.
Yeah. And then just
No, I like the
quickly-
representation. I liked how they actually did it authentically, and they worked with the tribe to make it authentic.
Which
Yeah.
kind of like which implies that the real events of the real world, the bad guys win. You know?
I mean, that's it. Where
That
do
is-
we live,
that is
Jason?
reality.
America?
Mhm.
So that is the reality of things, but it puts that in
Yeah.
perspective.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like it's funny that if we had heroes at the time, they would have fought against that because
Yeah.
they were the
Yeah,
bad.
but it's weird for her to be like, "I'm gonna fix world hunger and solve world peace," and
Mm-hmm.
that's when the episode really lost me, when she became just like a little too perfect.
We also have guys Wakanda, Eyes of Wakanda, the new animated series. Again, another 4-episode arc. It seems like they're doing these 4-episode animation arcs, which, as long as they're good stories, then I'm
Fist
down with
is
it.
gonna be in it.
Huh? What's that? Iron
I don't
Fist.
think it's gonna be Iron Fist. I think it's gonna be an Iron Fist. I think it's gonna be like
Yeah, I think they've-
focused on a lot of different generations. And
Yeah.
Iron Fist is the title passed down from generation to generation. I think it's
Oh,
going
so
to
this
be
would be like an old. It's like his
an
dad.
older Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Definitely not that Iron Fist. He was the new Iron Fist.
Oh, really?
From the
One with,
Alyssa
like,
Wano
the-
series. I
one
can't
with the
remember her
head.
name.
Open chest.
Yeah.
I want that open chest outfit, dude.
And then
I love that
as-
look with the tattoo on the chest.
You'll be able to see the tattoo. That's why the chest is so open. They're just going for like the Nomad or OG deep ass V, dude.
Yeah.
And then the last thing in
Was it
Marvel
gonna be like
animation.
T'Chaka or
Uh-huh.
what,
Oh, I don't.
I think it's good. We're going to see a few Black Panthers. I think we are going to
Okay.
see T'Chaka. I don't know if we'll see T'Challa. I think we might see Shuri, but
Like,
I think T'Chaka is definitely easily.
It'll cover the history of Wakanda developed by Todd Harris.
I think we're going to see the first Black Panther
History. It
from
says
Avengers BC.
Wakanda. That's
Right.
cool. Yeah, there's like a
They also-
handful of legacy superheroes like Iron Fist and Black Panther.
Yeah.
That's why he's going to be in the show. It's
Yeah,
such a
that
Marvel thing to do. If these
Yeah.
these ideas get passed on from generation to generation and
Yeah.
have the two generations intersect and meet.
That's cool.
And the last bit of news, guys, I want to cover was the animated Spider-Man, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Looks like it's moving forward with animated. Well, I guess they had
People
clips
hate
and
this.
stuff like that.
People
Yeah.
hate this aspect of the show
Uh-huh.
about him the way he gets his powers. Like,
Right.
I know Spider-Man fans are usually pretty unhappy,
Uh-huh.
but you would have thought someone beat their dog in front of them or something. Like,
Right.
What is what are they complaining about?
so the main reason they're complaining is basically that Spider-Man gets his powers in this show supposedly through Doctor Strange and someone else flying in through a portal with a spider, and they give him the spider to bite him, taking away his kind of agents, not only his agency, but kind
Kind
of
of seeing a timeline, kind of like a.
yeah. People
Okay.
seem to not like the idea of Doctor Strange giving Peter his powers.
Right. And there's
Hmm.
Doctor
It's
Strange
unheard
up
of
there in the top
Complaining
corner.
about something that's already an IP. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Spider-Man fans are usually pretty unhappy.
But then what's the point of copying the same
And-
story over and
yeah.
over again, too? So
my whole thing, I don't want more.
What's your whole
Peter
thing,
and
man?
this is
Andrew.
whole thing.
No. I'm just saying it's the wrong age. I'm so sick
Right.
of people doing adaptions of Peter in high school. I feel like it's every animated show adaptation only focuses on Peter's high school days and the early days of Spider-Man. I think it'd be way more charming to focus on an adult Spider-Man who's been doing this for a while, so you actually get the ins and outs of the character and not have to relearn everything about the new world.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I don't know how long that's going to be. They didn't put an announcement to how many episodes or whatever, but
They announced this show like 3 years ago, though, too.
Yeah.
Like this show's been in
Right.
production for a while.
It
well,
looks cool. The style looks sick, dude.
yeah.
I like that
I
retro.
like the animation
Yeah,
style.
it's very-
I
it's
love
very
Coleman
retro.
Domingo as Norman
Yeah.
Osborn. Coleman Domingo is one of my he's one of my favorite actors right now. He's absolutely killing it.
Yeah, he just did
He's a great actor. He's fun.
Yeah, he's on fire right now. I know from Euphoria.
Yeah.
He's great in Euphoria. He's great in Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
He's just an absolute
Having quite the
great
year.
actor.
Like
Yeah.
he's like Glenn Powell, you know.
Anyway, guys, we've been going for like an hour and 40 minutes now. That's kind of a long one, so we're going to wrap it up. Everybody in the chat, thank you for your questions. Thanks for participating in your thoughts and everything. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of this stuff. We'll obviously be doing reactions to a lot of this stuff when it comes out as it drops. I mean, starting with Agatha All Along, which comes up next, I think. Actually, when is Agatha All Along again? Was that August or
September.
September?
Oh, September.
Oh, sorry,
I'm sorry. I
September. Yeah.
thought like line up with Halloween, so I guess.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and then of course we've also got the on the 13th of September is a Galaxy.
We didn't even talk about that
Blue
trailer
Galaxy.
during this live.
We didn't actually. No, I mean, again, yeah.
I think
quick
we've
thoughts.
talked about Agatha enough on other stuff. I
Yeah,
mean,
we
the trailer
have.
didn't
And we did a
show
reaction to the
much.
trailer too.
It was cool.
looks
It
fun.
was a cool trailer. Didn't
Yeah.
reveal that much. I think we all just said we'd like to see more of the exploration of the map.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, a lot of people don't want to, but anyway.
I love
Guys.
Aubrey Plaza though, so I'll watch anything Aubrey Plaza's in.
Yeah, she's good, and I love Catherine Hahn too. So, all right, guys, please like, subscribe if you're watching this for the first time, and we will catch you all later. Probably see you next week, and have a good one. Catch you later.
Pick no target, military target.